allow me to be.
I just visit a couple minutes until Rosen.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Karen, or if you wanna get started, otherwise we'll wait.
Either way, yeah, wait.
It's just-
I have time.
That's Robert.
So we're just
Exciting, nice.
putting up for them.
Close. We're 2 days apart, so really my birthday was Saturday. I'm excited in Hot Springs to try to
Good for you.
relax and chill out. No service.
In Canada or down?
Down here on Lolo Pass, Jerry Johnson Hot Springs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just saw something on social media about Jerry Johnson Hot Springs. I've never been there.
It was amazing.
Was it?
Yeah, the best one. We checked out all of them up and down the trail, and the best one is the first one right by the
Okay.
waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit of a kind of climb to get down to it, but wasn't too bad.
How long would it take to get there?
From here, it's probably like 5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
Little,
rented a cabin on
But
Lolo Pass.
It's a
The
hike.
cabin-
It's a hike to the hot springs.
But yeah, it's like 0.8 miles.
It's perfect.
Like, nothing bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one that's Weir Hot Springs that's like 0.2 miles or something, but that one, the parking lot was crowded and it's only one pool.
oh, yeah.
So we knew that Jerry Johnson was like multiple pools at the trail and we checked them all out. And it was like Goldilocks. We sat in a couple and then we found the perfect one. Like
Yeah, busy.
for hours. Yeah. Yeah.
Good for you.
Hung out with, there's a couple people, a couple groups that would birthdays. So I'm like, that's the thing to do for birthdays. Yeah, it was nice.
Fall's the perfect time for hot spring stuff.
Exactly, escape the cell
Yeah.
phones and nobody can contact us.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're
that one in the winter, it wasn't even too bad of a hike, so I think if you put like track shoes on or something, you can get
Yeah.
there really easily in the winter.
We were watching, so I hunted last week in eastern Montana and we're watching basically the western larch all the way home. You see,
Yeah.
you know, what grades of color they
Yeah.
are.
Yep.
As you get into the pass, of course, they're all bright yellow.
I saw a little video, a spoof of a guy who dressed up as a Canadian parks person, and he was like, it's larch painting season, like, I've been hired to paint the larch.
Yeah.
One of my favorite times of year.
Me too, that's my favorite
I mean, I
tree.
don't ever want to wish away my summer, but
Yeah,
boy,
yeah.
it's breathtaking.
The larch changes. It was crazy too on Lolo Pass. Montana is packed with larch, and then we get to Idaho, there's not as much.
Right.
Just, I guess it's similar on the interstate too. Once
Mhm.
you go over Lookout, then that's where you come into all the larch.
They
And
had
the largest larch is on the Sealy district of the Lolo. His name is Gus. So if you ever wanna go see a big larch tree, go
the
find Gus.
largest larch.
Yeah.
There are
The
some
oldest.
whopper larch on Tiger Pass.
There are,
I
Yeah.
didn't know they got all that big.
There's a couple that I've seen that I wanna go look and measure
uh-huh.
and hike down there and, yeah,
Yeah,
that are incredible and.
yeah, there's some.
So
good
how big we
ones.
talking?
4 foot.
Yeah, easy. There's some good ones if you
100 and
go
some
into
feet high.
Napa. There's a large tree trail and there's some large that are like 950 years old.
Yeah,
You can't put your hands around it.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. There's,
The
there's,
big
pl-
cedars that you
there's
see.
probably some 5-footers on Tiger Path.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, I shouldn't say this, but I've caught some 4-footers. So, but they were blown over by the wind, so.
Yeah,
Sure.
makes
You
good
know,
fire.
a spruce in Washington.
Me
State.
too, and Quinault, yep, yeah, it's cool.
Big national park.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah, and
cool.
those larch on Tiger Pass, the old ones that we got were all about 500 years old.
Yeah.
And they were right in that time period.
Yeah.
500 years. So they all came
They're
up at
the,
once.
they're a denser, they're already a denser wood, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, but those ones are tricky to even
Right,
have.
yeah.
They're really big.
Yeah.
They have one there that's fallen, that's a display in the campground behind Thomas Lake. And they have a roof over it and it has a time thing on it,
Mhm.
you know, and they have a cookie at one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep. How's it going with ya? What's new?
Oh, budget season. Well, you know what, Karen, I'm not gonna, it sounds like Robert's got some work to do with Dolly back there, so why don't you go ahead and start your update?
Okay, sure. So not a ton of updates given it's kind of spicy time of year right now. But the plan is to spend down the Title II funds
Uh-huh,
because it hasn't been reauthorized, and so
right,
we're just gonna spend it this year and then see what happens.
right.
I haven't heard anything.
As in this year, you mean,
This fiscal year, I think
okay,
it's by the end of 2026,
okay.
which I would say September.
And that was on my notes here, Karen, we would like, our road department would like an email or a list
Okay,
of your
Roads,
guys'
okay.
proposed roads, maybe with mile markers,
okay,
where you would like to see. And so something that's from your road guys with mile markers and with road names of what they would like to see.
okay,
Okay, and then we might take that, add our comments and get back to you.
okay, yep. Yeah, can do it.
And if you want, I'm happy to set up a meeting with somebody from our road department and with
Okay.
your guys, and we could do that over in your office and sit
Okay.
down and do that, if you wanna do it that way. Or you could start with a list and then we'll go that way.
Okay, we can
Okay.
start with the list and see.
Okay, they would like to start looking at that for 26, because they wanna think about their budget.
Gotcha,
And so
Okay.
it's a little bit of a time frame on it.
okay,
They wanna think about their work schedule and their budget for next year.
okay. So.
Speaking of Title II,
Gotcha, okay. Um. The only campground we still have open right now is Bead Lake, not Bead Lake, Browns Lake. And that closes October 31st, that's the last. Everything was just due to normal operations, when we would generally shut campgrounds down, it wasn't due to the shutdown. So, and then we had plans at Bead Lake to redo the boat launch. When it gets to low water, there's kind of a hole at the end of the boat launch, and so it makes it real dangerous. And so we shut that one with the plans to implement the reconstruction, but that contract was pushed back to next year, so that'll happen next year. Then we're currently working through the slate objection process, that resolution. We're looking to hopefully have a meeting with the objectors in the next few weeks, and then resolve any objections that we can, and sign a decision late November, early December.
What does that look like? What does an objection look like?
It talks about we have the comment period scoping and then 30-day comment periods, and so folks will comment on things that we propose, such as roads. This one is in grizzly bear habitat and all kinds of close to caribou habitat, and so they look at the analysis and will object to how we did the analysis, or that it's not specific enough, or we left something out, and identify that. And then we'll look at it, and we have an independent review team that looks at the whole project record and tells us if we left something out or didn't address something according to law, regulation, and policy.
right, so to be a legitimate objection, it's gonna be more a critique of your process and your analysis and your rules.
And, yep, and it has to be site specific as to
Right.
what we're doing in this area. It can't be
Yeah, right.
over.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it helpful to have, I've thought about commenting positively on some of those, is that helpful,
I think
Karen?
it is.
Is it
Yeah.
worthwhile?
I think it is if,
Yeah,
and you know the area so well that if you could look at it and say, hey, I see a treatment here, here's the concern of the
oh,
way
yeah.
people
Oh,
recreate here.
I've thought
Yeah.
that in several
Yeah,
cases.
yeah, right.
Okay.
I think that'd be super helpful, that
Okay,
this kind of treatment would increase ungulate opportunities in hunting, right?
right.
Yeah.
Well, there's been so many times
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
forest that I've thought about things like that.
Right, yeah, I think it's super helpful.
Okay,
We don't really have a project coming up that you could, well, we do, actually, I'm gonna re-release the trail
okay,
decision. We're gonna address what we lost. And the fundamental flaw that the judge found in that decision. And
Right,
so we're working through a process to address that flaw and, release it back out again, so.
well, the other thing I wanted to not, sorry, change the subject, I wanted to tell you is we are fixing the Cedar Creek Road above Ion.
Oh, nice,
I don't know if
Oh,
you're aware
okay.
of that.
okay,
I know you guys had met with Craig Jackson and the road crews there once upon a time. There was a landslide there. I know that sweet project, I think the contractors are still working in there,
uh-huh,
but
Yep.
that road probably is fixed. So they were
Oh,
working on
okay.
it last week.
oh, nice, cool, that's great. But yeah, so we're working through that, so trail will come out again soon. So that would be an opportunity to put some comments in,
Yeah, that'd be great.
looking at
And
that.
you had told me what you were gonna do, your next coming up is the project at Sand Creek. Or-
Yes.
Okay,
And so what we're doing with Sand Creek, because there's a lot of changes in the regulation for NEPA and how we implement
yes,
NEPA.
yes,
And so we wanna continue collaboration with the public. But we don't wanna restrict it to a 30-day comment period, so we wanna talk about the project ahead of time, get to a proposed action together, and then that would be a decision. And so, I'm working through a way to do that collaboration process that's not an official comment period. And we'll probably start that next summer.
okay, that would be interesting. I will definitely try to be involved in that.
Yeah,
I'm very familiar with that chunk of land,
nice.
so,
They call it, the DNR did it with Meadow Lakes,
Okay.
the 3P process,
right,
people, places. I forget what the third P is, and so we're gonna do something like that, where we talk about the critical values at risk. And the treatments and how do those overlap,
right,
addressing those. And really the focus will be up in Medellin Falls and
right,
at the theater or something, with
Right.
other community members. Yeah, so looking at that next summer,
okay,
and then that decision. I wanna say it was scheduled for 2027, but we might push it out a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see, we did a CE salvage, from the Tacoma Creek fire. And it really focused on units in the Boulder Park EA, so looking with Boggins on that one. Be able to salvage trees and then replant to try to, change it. I guess speed up the process to become more of a forest again that we lost because they'd already treated it, and so we had remaining what we wanted. And we're gonna try to replant that after we salvage to get it to grow quicker.
so you're gonna salvage some timber and use the revenue to replant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then last week met with the Air Force and the colonel from Air Force Base about just kind of defensible space around there. When we had the incident management team, they met with them as well as Joanne and looked at the evacuation. But talked to the Air Force about what they can do to create defensible space. And so we're gonna look at doing some fuels treatments up Tacoma Creek Road and further outside of the base, just to protect that command post a little bit better, reduce that risk from being fired. So we'll look at doing that this winter to implement next summer.
That would be.
That, I think, is all I've got. We're really focusing on what the priority is right now, while we have limited staff.
So is there any impact to the local forest from the federal shutdown or not much? A little bit?
Still continuing operations.
Yeah,
And that reminds me as well, I know we talked about the Usk Mill and that Commissioner Rosencrantz was really interested in the Usk Mill. And when we met with Boggins, they said that when Colville fills out, that's when more wood goes to Usk. And what we really need is more wood coming from the west side.
right,
And so we have been able to increase our sales on the west side to help balance that out.
and the shutdown is not affecting the timber
No.
program, that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
it-
still
The
ongoing.
timber program's still going full bore,
It is.
yeah.
Still doing sales, still implementing sales.
Yeah, well, prices have been.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
Yeah.
Yep,
but we'll see how
It's
this
true.
has go.
I know, yeah,
It ebbs and flows.
it does, and we balance, they change the rates and stuff, and
Yeah.
so. It's kind of a rolling, I think they do it quarterly where they utilize that, and then we look at it,
Yeah,
try to balance what we advertise at to meet those. Ebbs and flows in the market as well.
yeah, and part of this shutdown thing is SRS.
Mm-hmm,
You know, it's tied to this whole process,
right,
and there's multiple efforts. You know, hopefully, if we get a budget bill, SRS will be part of it.
Oh,
We will
nice.
see.
oh, that'd be great,
There's multiple different channels that are doing work.
okay.
I can just tell
Good
you,
news.
yeah, it's complicated,
Right.
whether
Oh,
it's
for
gonna
sure.
survive the process or not.
Right, yeah.
It
it's
should have
super
been done a
compli-
long time ago.
I agree, yeah,
Yeah,
same with the farm bill, it's super
Yeah.
complicated and.
yeah, and I don't know if you know,
Yeah.
there's several proposals too to roll the Forest Service into interior, back to interior.
Yep,
Which, of course, is
or
worse.
fire as
Yeah,
well,
a fire too.
that, and
And
splitting
to
fire,
separate the
separate.
two.
Yep,
Yes.
right.
It's a
And it-
disruptive time.
It's weird too, because our funding does come through Department of Interior
Yeah.
funding, which is odd as well. It's not
Yes.
separate with the ag bill. So it's all convoluted and,
Yes,
yeah.
whole story. There's a whole story behind that. I
Okay.
won't bore you with.
No, but that's good to hear that, people are working on it and.
Yeah.
Trying to get it passed.
Hold on, Garrett.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
see.
it's been that way, so.
I know, yeah. Cool, good to know. Yeah, I won't hold my breath, but fingers crossed, they can get bipartisan things that help.
You would
rural
think
people,
so.
Out there, yeah. Right. Fingers crossed. What else?
I have nothing else for you, Karen.
Okay.
Thank you.
perfect. Yeah, you're
Good
welcome.
luck.
Good to see you.
Look forward to seeing
you.
you. We look forward to seeing some kind of email on them roads.
Roads, yes, I'll do
Okay.
that. Yeah, I might just go drive some roads and collect some mileage for you.
There you go.
I got
That would be fine.
spare time in the next few
You
weeks.
about a 2-minute update on Viking Italy.
Ooh, Viking Italy, sure. So my friend's done this like her 7th or 8th time. That specifically, there's this hotel in Riccione on the east coast of Italy that specializes in bike tourism, and the owner was just kind of this brilliant business manager who tried to talk other hotels into doing it. Like, hey, let's create this biking mecca, and for like couple months, April, May, and then September, October, we only bring in people for the week to do biking, and we do tours. Nobody else did it. She was like, screw it, I'm gonna do it. Hired guides, full meals, everything included. And the chef is phenomenal. And so then you get to pick from 1 to 5 of kind of the leisure tour or the road tour, which is like full on biking really fast, or leisure, you stop and get some tourism and stuff. But you still need to be able to bike a consistent speed and keep up. And every day is different. So one day we went to her old family home and had lunch, they had a big barbecue they prepared. One day we went to a winery and they stage it, so each group arrives at the same time, so you can all eat together. And then you keep departing and continue on. We always had coffee every day, stop at cappuccino shops and get coffee. And then learn about different areas that we went to. So I mostly did the leisure tour and then the one step up, because I like history and education.
Yeah.
We biked to San Marino, which is a whole other country, and learned about the war and stuff, and how much the Canadians helped protect of Italy from invasion. And the tunnels that were built to escape from Italy through into San Marino. So yeah, all inclusive, it was super cheap for what you get. I think it was like 2,100 euros for myself for bike rental, stay, food,
Wow.
wines included with it. And then my friend did another package in Spain, where we went to Spain as well and did it on our own. But Italy's phenomenal. I'll go back. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even see how whining and biking could go wrong.
Nothing can go wrong. And limoncello and all the things.
Yeah.
But on the other days where we didn't have a specific like winery, we'd all get back about 2 o'clock for lunchtime. And then you have free time. and then dinner,
Yeah,
wine,
amazing.
yeah. But now, I would recommend it to anybody.
Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by.
Take care. Hopefully we're back to work next month.
Yes, I hope so.
Everybody.
I missed the talk of the comment, that is in period, but you have to show that.
Slate, well, slate and then.
Well, we didn't keep it long, Dolly.
Okay.
Thank you, Randy. Sorry.
Yeah, oh, that's. Okay.
Thank you,
Uh,
Alex.
Mr. Gentle Chair is well versed on everything I said, so.
Yes.
that's a good update.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll get you the box.
Thank you.
This looks like a reminder note.
It was, yeah,
Did you already take care of it?
I did. It was to ask her about the road.
What was this one? Okay.
Brian, are we thinking we want some time on the agenda before too long to discuss TBD?
Yes, I would like to confer with Public Works before we do that, Joe.
Before we put it on the agenda?
Well, we can put it on the agenda, but I just want to do it before we talk about it further. But I don't mind if you want to do that next week, that's fine. I think half an hour is minimum. It's a cluster. Right now, I'm taped over half an hour maybe. I was just looking, that's why I was looking through here to find that memorandum that Dolly gave us. I've read it, at one point I had it just about memorized, and I can't believe I missed that.
I've noticed that before. Very good. When I thought we had a folder for that.
I found it here, probably did, this is what I was looking for.
So this I'll have to keep
Yeah.
separately.
Flow chart that was provided to me by Craig, which is inaccurate.
Okay. All right, in the future. Mr. Chair?
Public comment is now open. We're all familiar with the process here, so I'm just gonna go straight to the Zoom attendees. Don Grimes, you have, that's a no. Thank you, Don. Selkirk South, any public comment for us? Selkirk Sun going twice. With no one in the room, we will close public comment for today.
Mr. Chair, what is that Wasatch Virtual Assembly relevant to?
Local Board of Health, it's for the local Board of Health.
So tomorrow is our elected officials department head meeting. Would you be able to read that excerpt that you were going to address during the all staff meeting?
Sure.
Tomorrow?
I can do that.
And I wondered if your seatmates would want to share anything from the all staff meeting just to fill you in on.
Go ahead, Robert.
I did take a few pictures of the slides to show you. I
Yeah.
think Brenda's going to send out those slides that'll show what the answers were. Because it was very interactive with voting like we did during that
Right.
one meeting.
The strongest takeaway, unfortunately, the strongest takeaway I had was there's a collision of perspectives with the counseling services and road crews on certain issues. When sheriff's deputies were making their presentation on active shooter training. And I was sitting with the road crew, Shannon and one of their colleagues were visibly uncomfortable with the direction the conversation took.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the sheriff's deputies asked, what does an active shooter look like? What are they like? And one of the, I'm presuming, road crew guys said, they're liberal.
Like someone said, maybe a mask on or a hood. Liberal.
That was not what we said.
It was not.
Oh, of course not. And, I mean.
Yeah. Well, it was still kind of funny, John.
Oh, no. That's all the way funny.
People laugh.
Yeah.
My other takeaway on a more positive note, when we were doing our group exercises, and I had a really great cross section of people from. There's some great spirit in this, Yeah, because people just, they get it, they want to be part of the team, and there's a lot of fun to be working together. Yeah, really a lot of fun.
I thought that part was actually pretty good and working, and the way they thought that through,
Yeah.
you know, they put some effort into it and to think about it, and yeah, it was worthwhile.
Each group had one of the values to kind of narrow in on.
Yeah.
And then shared out the responses.
Well, definitely some recurring themes. I mean, that is, if you remove the duplicative insinuations, there's not much of a cloud there.
And what I thought was funny, because I reviewed this afterwards again, like how can we improve their culture?
Right.
Everyone's talking about pay, higher wages, better, I'm thinking. Oh, because I'm thinking the culture towards the community and how they're
Yes,
serving people,
yes.
it's like, is that the best answer for
And
serving the
I
public?
think there was some confusion about that question, is how do you improve the culture of Monterey County? Do you mean the county as a whole or the county government? Sure.
Yes.
And I think some of the answers were reflecting the county as a whole,
Right,
and some of the answers were,
right.
I think there's very, very little that we can do and should do to change the culture of Monterey County.
Oh, right.
And so, not our place. We should reflect the culture of Monterey County. That's my view.
Yeah, almost have no choice but to reflect.
Yeah, exactly. So I think some people took that question wrong. By judging from the answers, I felt like, that needs to be clarified.
And even though we're in a staff training, we're talking
Yeah.
about our,
Yeah, and maybe I'm wrong on that, but I do think just some people took it wrong.
yes.
Quite some engagement, though.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
I felt like the speaker had 3 really good topics. Some of the feedback was that it was maybe too long.
Yeah.
But I told Brenda the next day, we had a little bit deeper, I'm like, anyone that goes to a training, a conference, you're gonna sit for 3 hours. And listen, she broke it up into 3 different topics, so I did not feel like it was too long. I tried to break down for each one. There wasn't a lot of interaction with the speaker, like she didn't get a lot of participation, which I think was one of the issues with that, but her topics were excellent and good suggestions.
Well, it's not like we're paying a fortune to have somebody come in and put us together either.
Right.
You know, so bang for the buck is. Name of the game. Well, good, but some value there.
So.
Crystal, anything else before close of business today?
Well, is there any direction for your clerk on, the email that we received?
Yes.
Okay. No response.
I believe that's correct. Yeah.
And then also, okay, so 2 different ones. I'm also gonna ask about that. You had one regarding a bid. No response to that.
Yeah, do we want to, I suppose we have to discuss next steps for how we want to proceed. With the comp plan update. And so maybe the 3 of us and Greg and Andy should put some time on, or is there someone else we should be roping into that?
No, I mean, Greg, sure, Andy, yeah.
Okay, well, let's do
Schedule some
3 of
time.
us and let Greg know whoever he wants to come
Yeah.
over. Okay.
Half an hour next week in open session.
Yeah.
It was okay, but she was trying to get.
Making sure he's still on track for securing all of the funding, and then we talk about what we expect in the RFQ process moving forward.
Okay,
That'll be kind of the gist of that meeting.
and then the other one I'm talking about too is the weed board, anything there?
That one, I know that legal felt like they had well in hand, and that the county commissioner's job was to stay away from it, keep our thumb off the scales.
Okay.
That our part to play in oversight of that is very, very prescribed and very limited, so that was
Yeah,
the whole nature of our questioning was, did we miss anything? And the answer is no.
that board is not under your direct oversight.
Yeah.
But maybe countywide, clearer instructions in the future on criteria.
Yeah, you
checklists.
certainly see themes around procurement and, you know, and even what Mary Ann was talking about, that we have all these different structures, all completely unique, and, you know, different budgets, different oversight, different everything. So how do you get it roped into one sort of procurement, the super highway? And you don't. The answer is you just don't. Doesn't mean we can't raise the money. I think we can.
I printed off, the 2018, the last job description I had for your contracting and procurement agent. Because since then, his job description has been updated to be support specialist. And so I asked Brenda for the newest job description to see how much of this procurement. The responsibility transferred over. But I know initially the plan was for all contracts and RFQs to go through that position. No, all of it. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
He is our expert on procurement policy. He's a part of that procurement committee and would help direct people on RFQ. Also, the advertising, like all of the duties related to a contract procurement. bidding.
well, if there is nothing going into this year's budget, then I am not going to usher it along.
True, and I did tell Brenda this would be something down the line, but as far as if the duties carried over to his current, we need to direct people, and especially I know some divisions are trying their own rather than seeking his advice.
Yeah.
And then he comes to me afterwards and said, wasn't a part of this, they didn't even write the thing for
That
it.
would have been nice too. All right, thanks so much for your help.
So, meeting in the morning at 9.
Yeah. We will recess until 9 AM.
Thanks for joining us. Meeting is recessed for the day.